Greetings, COM 181 Online. The purpose of this video is to show you where to actually access your ebook, as well as to show you where you can find the LearnSmart homework assignments in each one of the modules and lessons in which they are assigned. Now in front of you, you see an example module, and while your individual one may look a little different, the basic principle here is the same. So within an individual lesson, the example here is for the lesson for Chapter 1. Under the reading, you see this, where it says Chapter 1 in Public Speaking, and specifically you see here it says Learn, Smart, Achieve. And if I put the cursor over where it says Chapter 1 Public Speaking, you see it turns into a finger. Here, this is what you want to click on in order to get to both the ebook as well as the LearnSmart homework assignment. Now, if you click on this, it will take you to a page that looks like this. Okay, this is the ebook in this case for Chapter 1. Now, it looks, if you have a hard copy of the text, it looks exactly like this. And I wanted to walk you through some of the features of the ebook as well as where you can find the LearnSmart assignment. So starting off, you see you can click here to go from page to page throughout the chapter. But there is some other features as well. If you look down, you notice how all the text here tends to be grayed out and kind of hard to read. And I'll click next section to go to the next page. But you see here how certain primary areas within the text are highlighted. This is what the publishers sort of thought was the most important information within the chapter. So you can skim through from the various highlights. However, let me go back to the previous section. If you would like to see all the text, what you want to do is down here on the right hand side, you see this little symbol here? It looks like a highlighter with a line through it. Okay, right now the highlight is on. Okay, so that's why only the highlighted sections are really visible. If I click on this and take that little line off, now you see that all the text is visible, and if we go to the next section, the highlighting is gone. So that's something that you can do depending on how you physically, personally want to deal with the chapter. You also can use these little A and big A buttons to make the font bigger or smaller. Also, if I go to the next section, you'll see there are these little blue boxes here next to certain sections within the e-text. If I click on one of these, it will kind of tell me what area it's talking about, and then in this case it shows a slide. If I click on that slide, it brings up this supplemental material, and if I click play, as you see, it brings up a little bit of further explanation of that part. And when you're done, you just hit continue. And it takes you back to where you were. So that is how you can read through the ebook for each chapter. And you'll see one of those links, again, I'll go back, that looks like this in each chapter. It'll just say Chapter 2 or Chapter 3, but you want to look for this Learn, Smart, Achieve here. That is where you get to the Smart Book. Now, that's the Smart Book. Where is the actual LearnSmart homework? Because you click on it, regardless of chapter, it'll come to this opening page. Well, to get to the LearnSmart, you want to go down here in the bottom left corner, and you see here it says Practice. That is the button that brings up the LearnSmart. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you see here it brings up what kind of looks like a quiz, but it's not really a quiz, okay? What LearnSmart is, it's an adaptive quizzing software. Now what that means is it's going to ask you a question about a subject, and if you get that question right, it'll move on to another subject. But if you get that question wrong, it will just keep asking you questions about that subject over and over again until you get it right. Okay, now I want to point out something over here. If it asks you a question and you're not really sure, you can click on read about this to see where this particular subject was discussed in the text, or you can pull up a slide like the one I showed you before that'll go over it again. Now I want you to make sure you pay attention down here to where it says 20 items left, okay? Just pay attention to that as we go through. So it asked me this first question: which of the following is not considered to be public speaking? All right, so I look at my answers, and I'm going to go with the first one, speaking on the telephone. So you select the answer you think is correct, and then down here you pick how sure you are. You have no idea, unsure, you think you know, or you're very confident. I'll go ahead and click I know it. And look at that, I got it right. Okay, so I click on OK, pulls up the next question, and you see this says 19 items left. So I'm going to go ahead in this one, and I'm just going to check all of them for the purpose of this example. I'm going to check all of them. I'll click think so this time. Oh, I didn't get it right. See, 2 of these shouldn't have been clicked. So, well, okay then, let's keep going. So I click OK. Next question came up, but you see how this still says 19 items left. Okay, the number of items down here is how many questions you need to get right before you finish the assignment. And that's one of the big things, if I could go back to the main page here, that I want you to understand about the LearnSmart. You get the points for finishing it. Okay, in that example, you had to get 20 questions right to finish that LearnSmart. Now, I don't care if you knock 20 out correctly right in a row, or maybe it takes you answering 35 questions to get 20 correct. Either way, once you finish, you get full points for completing the assignment. Okay, the points are awarded in LearnSmart for completing it. There's no such thing for the LearnSmart as getting 80% of the points. You either get all of them for finishing it, or you don't finish it and you get 0. Now, when you've finished it, when you've got all the questions right, you'll know. It'll say, congratulations, you finished it. And then an option will come up called recharge. You do not have to do the recharge. The recharge is basically going back and doing it again just to help yourself stay fresh in the material, but you do not have to do that. Okay, once you've done it and completed it, it says you can now recharge, you're done. You've earned your points and you can keep doing other things. So I hope that answers any questions you may have about where to find the ebook, as well as where to find the LearnSmart and what it is. Thank you much.